Hello and welcome to Barb Talks. Today I'm going to talk about something that I did back when I was younger, a job that was kind of unusual. I was a lifestyle model. And how I got into that was I was working at a radio station and I was a contributing writer to some of the publications in that music industry. And I figured, I probably should have a headshot for that. So I went to what I considered the best headshot taking person in Portland because he was the person who did all the Portland Trailblazers. So I went to Owen Carey. I think he's retired now, but I went to him back then and he was taking all these pictures of me. He was asking me, he was saying, well, have you ever considered being a model? And I was like, well, no, I'm short and I'm old. Why would I do that? And he said, because you've got a look that could be a lifestyle model. And I had never heard of lifestyle models. So I thought all models were like tall and thin and runway. And I'm not the most graceful person in the world. It's like, why would I even think about that? But he said that a lifestyle model is basically just a regular person that just shows up and you're on time, you do what you're told, and you leave. And a lot of the lifestyle model stuff was like extras at that time. So what I did, I told him, well, if I'm going to be a lifestyle model, you better tell me what agency to go to because I don't have a clue. So he told me to go to, at that time, Q6 Talent Agency and said, Owen Carey sent you. So I went to the agency. I, at that time, had a little head cold, and my voice was the best thing about me. I didn't even think of rescheduling. I should have rescheduled. But instead, it was an on-camera audition, and I went in a jean shirt. I don't even think, well, this was after they'd hired me. I mean, this was when Owen Carey took the picture, but I think I was wearing that jean shirt. So I show up at Q6 and I had a cold and I went in front of the camera and I just did things like stuffed a Kleenex up my nose and said, let's see a cold medicine, get rid of this. I mean, I figured I'm not going to make it on my looks. I'm not going to make it on how tall I am. And my voice wasn't all that good, so I better make it on personality. And sure enough, after I did the on-camera audition, the person there said, we don't have any models that would be willing to do that. You're hired. I'm like, all right. At the time of this picture, I was in my early 30s, but they told me that I looked like between 18 and 23. So they put me in the 18 to 23-year-old category, even though I was in my early 30s. And so I'd go to these auditions with all these like super tall young girls and me, and it was fun. But I also realized how much better it was to be in this industry as an older person because I wasn't as afraid of talking and speaking up for myself. These are the next headshots after I was at Q6. They wanted me to be a model for like spokesmodel type work or commercial type work. So I wore a business suit. To tell you how small I was, this was a size 4 suit and it was huge on me. So I was skinny, but I wasn't necessarily tall. After that, they said, well, we could get you more work if you got your hair cut. And I'd had at that time hair down to my waist. And I loved my long hair, but I thought, okay, let's give this a go. Let's try the shorter haircut. So I got that head shot and same business suit. And sometimes you'll notice, sometimes they wanted headshots that were just the head, and sometimes the industry wanted headshots that were more of a 3/4 shot so you could see the whole body. So, and sometimes they wanted the shots in color, sometimes they wanted them in black and white. So you always had to redo your headshots all the time so that you kept up with industry standards. And I did get a few things for that at that stage, at least a few auditions. But I got most of my auditions when I had this particular look. And again, my hair had grown out a bit, and it was an outdoor photo shoot, and I was kind of squinting. And I think the squinting got me some various jobs. One of the jobs I got was for Goodwill, where I was the soccer mom, the exhausted soccer mom. And so that was one. And then that was a really fun photo shoot because they provided the clothes and they provided, of course, the adorable little girl. And they just had us go over and over and over. You see, got a little kid steering wheel. It was really fun. And another audition that turned into a gig was a hand model. At that time, computer stuff was relatively new, and they needed a hand to basically drag things around on some Microsoft Word website. And so they wanted a man's hand, a woman's hand, and a child's hand. And this is the hand that represents a woman's hand on that particular website. So you saw my hand doing stuff around there. I also did some work for an insurance agency where there was a bunch of people sitting around at tables eating, and then the camera shot was from above, and all these people were dressed in suits and looking normal. And then there was on the other side, they spliced in another person that was wearing bright colors by themselves, and it was some ad for insurance saying, "We stand out amongst the rest." And I was one of the just random people eating at a table, and it was fake food, and it was just fun. It was an opportunity to get out and basically get paid to sit around and visit with people. Another headshot, this one we had done in our home, and actually this backdrop was at that time our dining room table, and the photographer set our dining room table up on its side and then put me in front of it. At this point in time, we also got our kids involved in modeling. And we figured, you guys, you're going to have to get into the work world sometime. And for whatever reason, when I was a kid, you could pick cherries or pick berries or something. And when my kids were little, it was like, oh, no, we can't have kids working. And so I needed to find something for them to do to get paid for so they'd experience what real work was like. Our modeling agency had a children's division, and so we had pictures of our kids taken, and they came to our house. Again, this is my picture. I might show the kids' pictures. We had these pictures over our family mantle for the longest time, our professional photos, and that was really fun. Well, I think this was a period of time where I played a nurse for a hospital, I think it was. And it was a really fun commercial because there was this really tall guy. They were trying to find a really tall guy and a really short gal. And of course, I got it for the short gal part. And they had me be at a doctor's office, and this big tall guy came in and sat down with these little kids, and he was trying to fit in the small chair. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor was treating him like a kid. And then he came to me, and I had to reach up high to him and offer him a lollipop, and he was like, type of look. And the whole thing of the commercial was, we treat you with respect, not like the other guys who treat you like a kid, one size fits all type of thing. So I think I was about this age when I did that particular Perky Nurse, I think it was called Perky Nurse commercial, for my part in that. There's like 2 or 3 other headshots I had after this one, but I can't seem to find them. But I did find a copy of one of them, and my husband hates this picture, so I'll try to cover up his face so he doesn't get mad at me. But actually, I will show it because I think he looks like a Beatle. I think he looks like Paul McCartney, and so I think it's a fine picture. This is the picture of me, and at that time I was heading my hair, and I don't know what the hairstylist did. It's like they filled my hair full of hairspray and made it look dull and dark. Is that supposed to be the new style? I don't know. But I don't think I got any gigs off of this particular look. The whole idea of being a commercial model or a lifestyle model, what you do is you go online, you look for modeling agencies or talent agencies in your own area, but you got to make sure that you don't pay any money. A real modeling talent agency, their job is to get you work. If you have to pay them to go to their agency, then they are a modeling school, not a talent agency, not a modeling agency. I think they might want a little bit to put your headshot on their website. I'm not with an agency anymore, so that's why I'm saying I think. But I have looked at some other agencies around the area, and it looks like now most of your auditions can be done at home. with your own camera setup. And it looks like they want your reel of work. So if you've done any influencer work and you've got video for that, or you've done a high school play, or you've done a commercial, or you've done modeling for your college or whatever, all that stuff matters now. Yeah, you can take classes and stuff like that, but I think today it's more results oriented. So show us what you've done, show us what you look like. And that's, I think, where it is now for a lifestyle model. The last agency I worked for was Ryan Artists out of Portland, Oregon. And that's a women-owned company. And they treated me and my husband and my kids really well. And I believe they are still in business and they are still doing good work. So if you want to get into lifestyle modeling, it's more of a hobby business, and you have to be available like on the spur of the moment. They'll say like, oh, are you available tomorrow to do this video shoot, or next week from Monday and Tuesday from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. So your time needs to be pretty flexible to be a lifestyle model. But if you've got time on your hands and you kind of want an extra little fun job thrown in there to enjoy, I mean, what a fun job to have done in my life. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you, that lifestyle modeling or commercial modeling is a possibility for somebody, even if you aren't the tallest person or the best looking person. Lifestyle model, they're looking for people of all ages and races and hair colors, and I enjoyed being a lifestyle model. Thanks for coming along on today's Barb Talks.